folks, Friday Night Blitz Media Days. We're getting the scene rocking and rolling. And, of course, we're shining a spotlight on the Auburn Eagles. Got to say that 5 times fast. Great program dealing with. And, of course, first-year head coach, but he's been a part of the program, is Coach Scott Mikowicz. Hey, Coach Mikowicz, thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And now, obviously, long-time assistant coach. I mean, you've been there at the program, but now this is your first head football coaching job, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
I've been a head coach up in New York before.
Oh, so this is not all right. Just we're big on accuracy, so there you go.
Yep.
But I guess the biggest question is, obviously, when you look at this program over the last few years, just a couple of notes. Assistant at Auburn, and there's something I want to ask you about golf, but I'll bring that up a little bit later. So it's a tease.
Yeah.
So you know where I'm going, but there you
so.
go. So when you look at it, I mean, you had a bunch of injuries, COVID and all that, shut down a season like second year in a row. I mean, just how tough is it? Because obviously being an assistant there, you've seen it firsthand, but it's kind of hard when you just don't have the bodies to finish off a season.
Yeah, it's been frustrating. It's just can't get the kids to come out, and then when we do get them, then we get some injuries, and you know, that's our biggest focus this year, is just getting through a full season.
How are your numbers so far this year, sir?
Weightlifting has not been great. Probably 12 to 15 kids on average, but it's not. I didn't make it mandatory this year, so we had a real big sign up right before school let out. So I'm hopeful. We'll see. We're getting equipment on the 24th, so I'll get a better picture at that point in time.
You know, when you look at it, I mean, obviously, Auburn's success athletically is in so many other sports, but it seems like football's the one that's kind of on the outside. Yeah. Usually football's the one that sets the tone, but I guess overall, what do you feel you have to do other than getting the numbers? But because there has been moderate success in the football program, what do you think it'll take to kind of get that ship going the direction you feel it needs to go?
I'm just trying to recruit kids all the time in the hallways, and you know, just trying to put a product out there that kids are going to want to play. You know, we got plenty of athletes in our school. If they would just all play football, we'd be in great shape.
Yeah, get them out there, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got to ask you, I mean, like I said, you've been a part of high school football a long time, player, coach, and all that. I got to ask you, for you, sir, what does Friday nights in the fall mean to you?
To me, it's football. It's just so much fun. Getting ready for the game, you work at it all week, and then Friday night rolls around, you got the butterflies going. You know, just for me as a player, it was just, I still have so many memories of when I played, and then even as a coach, it's exciting, the camaraderie, being around the other coaches, and then, you know, just being around the kids. For me, it's just exciting.
Now, who are some of the guys we should keep our eyes on, the spotlight guys on your team this year, sir?
Oh, well, we got 2 of our seniors, probably 3, Matthew Wheeler, Austin Stump, and Blaine McGinnis. And then we've got a bunch of younger kids that Brody Hensel, Jude Meyer. You know, we got a lot of young kids that are going to have to step up and be able to play for us, because we don't have a lot in the upperclassmen department there, I'd say. And we lost our quarterback before the season even started to a torn labrum in baseball season, so that hurts.
You know, when I got to ask you, this is sort of a personal question. For you personally, you know, what's it like, you know, getting back into that? I mean, you said you were a head football coach up in New York, you know, and that's a different style of football than probably down here, but what's it like just being back in that role?
I'm just really excited about it. You know, I love the kids at Auburn, and you know, I'm just looking forward to the opportunity to hopefully lead them and get the program back on its feet.
Now, when you look at your schedule that you got, I mean, it's a strong schedule. It'll be 7, 10 playoff opponents. You know, obviously you open up the season against Narrows, but then you're at Craig County, which you saw them earlier today. They were here with us. But then you got Eastern Montgomery, county rivalry right there. And what's neat is you have a batch of games, like you have 3 straight home games, you know, so you're kind of front loaded with home games, but on the back end you have your road. I mean, Eastern Montgomery, Galax, Giles, you're at Bath County, at Fort Chiswell, Grayson County, East Side, and you wrap up the season at George Wythe. So you're not messing around, especially the district schedule.
No, it's brutal. I mean, I feel like it's the best district in the state. You know, someone usually represents the state title game. Usually one of the teams is coming out of our district. So, especially when you're trying to rebuild a program, it's daunting.
I hear that. Speaking of something that is hard to do, circling back, I teased earlier about the golf. This young man right here, Coach Scott. All right, so tell me about it. You got a hole-in-one on the 16th hole. I did my research. It was a par 4 at the Auburn Hills Golf Club back in July of 2017. So it's almost a 6-year anniversary of that. So tell me about how that happened and what was your emotions on that, because I know you were probably fired up on that.
It was just teed off, and it looked like it was going in the right direction. And then I saw it hit the green, and my buddies that I was all playing with, I didn't really see it drop in, but they did, and they were going crazier than I was. But it was it hit up above the hole and rolled down, and all of a sudden you couldn't see the ball anymore. Probably never ever happen again, but it was fun that day.
That's something I've never done. Yeah. And I play golf myself, but I was like, oh, if I could get a hole, I would want one on a par, at least on a par 3.
Yeah.
But a par 4?
Par 4, I know it.
Wow. So what did you do to celebrate? Well, actually, I mean, if it was the 16 hole, you still had 2 more holes to finish.
Yeah. We had a few more holes to finish, and then ended up at the Auburn Hills Clubhouse.
We'll leave it to your imagination on that celebration. But at the end of the day, Coach, I mean, we talked about it before, but what do you feel is going to be the key to have you get a hole-in-one with your football program and have the success that you want to have?
It's bottom line is getting the right kids to come out. You know, we need all our skilled kids to come out that said they were going to come out. If they all do, we'll be in good shape. If they don't, you know, it could be. You know, I'm still worried. I'll be worried right up till I see the numbers that the kids that sign. You know, we had a ton of sign up, but getting them from signing up on paper and getting them on that field is 2 different things. So I'm going to be worried right up till that first practice until I see all the kids that show up.
Well, I hope they do, because like I said, there's a lot of athletes there. We've seen the proof is in the pudding. There's state championships already around, but now it's got to get them on the gridiron.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Scott, thank you so much, sir.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. Appreciate
Thank
you being here.
Thank you very much.
Auburn Eagles, they're going to get their season. That's right. Oh, wait a minute. You got to say it real. I cut you off. Go ahead and say it.
Let's go Auburn.
All right. That's right. Go Auburn. That's the Auburn Eagles. They get the season started at home on August the 25th. They take on the Narrows Green Wave as we have Friday Night Blitz Media Days rolling on, getting you ready for the 2023 season.
Talk to me about this team. I know we just had a conversation. There's been a lot going on with this squad, but here we are. This thing is still happening.
Yes, sir.
What's that been like so far?
It's been a difficult past couple of years. We got a new coach this year. I'm really excited to maybe try to up the program. More intense practices. That's really, I mean, new offense, new defense. We're going to change things up a lot.
You know, talk to me a little bit about your new coach. I mean, it seems like he's trying to kind of steer this thing in the right direction, correct?
Yeah. I don't really know. I mean, he's been our assistant coach, our defensive coach for a while. I guess 6 years now for Auburn High School. I mean, that's a good guy, knows football, knows defense, knows offense, special teams. That's about it.
And you didn't talk to me, what are some of the things that he's kind of telling you right now? I know you guys have gone through, you've had him there for a minute, you know, but now he's in this kind of new role, I guess I would say. So what are some of the things that he's kind of telling you guys in terms of, hey, let's try and right this ship, let's try and get back to what we need to get back to, let's focus on what we need to do? Because it's always the small things that are always the things, right?
A lot of the simple mistakes will be fixed. Focus on getting more people in. We're gonna, instead of repping one quarterback in practice, we're gonna rep multiple, and that's the same with every position. A lot's gonna change.
If I'm not mistaken, there was a young gun behind center last year.
Yes, sir. He would have been a sophomore last year, and he ended up getting hurt. I guess during baseball, tore his labrum in his arm, so he's out this season.
So talk to me, I guess, how do you guys kind of approach that and lift each other up on that type of scale?
It's going to be tough. We still haven't found a quarterback. We got options, but it's going to be difficult because we're going to be starting all over again.
I mean, this team is always kind of fighting in the trenches all the time. And I think it takes a very special group of young people to continuously fight through a lot of the adversity of what you guys have had to deal with for the past few seasons. Talk a little bit about just the fact that this is a group of guys that's trying to really make something happen. I mean, you see it in all these different other facets of Auburn, and Auburn is about, doing the do. But it's also about getting your hands dirty.
Yes, sir.
To succeed. So talk a little bit about that.
I don't really know. Auburn has the athletes. Not everybody wants to play football. We're going to have more kids this year than we've had in the past 2 years. It's going to be difficult, but I think it's doable. I think we can work with what we got.
And I mean, this young talent, what have you seen out of this young talent so far?
They have a lot of talent. Dedication. They're very dedicated to the program. That's nothing other than that. They're just dedicated, and that's all. That's what it takes in football.
That's kind of like the number one step that you have to have, correct? And
yes, sir.
Everything kind of falls into place, right?
Yes, sir.
So I guess these building blocks off of what you guys, last year, we know what happened last year and stuff like that. But how do you kind of build off of a season that was kind of cut short? And then how do you utilize that and put it towards this year? Or do you wipe the slate completely clean and say, we got a bunch of young talent, we're here, you're here, let's make some things happen, let's leave that stuff in the past? Is that how do you?
So our number one goal this year is to complete a full varsity season. So I think it's doable. It's 100% doable. We have numbers that we hadn't had in the past 2 years. We've got kids in the weight room that should be in the weight room, and it'll be a big change this year. So.
And talk to me, how excited are you to kind of be a part of something like this, to build this thing? I mean, because everything needs building blocks, and I know, like I said, with Auburn, very cool. You got to build up to where you got to get to be successful.
Yes, sir.
And that's kind of what they kind of instill in you all.
Yes, sir.
Which is, Lord knows, it pays off.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
So, I absolutely love being part of this program, just for the simple fact of we started with nothing and we're starting to work with something now. So, like I said, we had nothing. I mean, I think we played 4 games the first season. Last year I can't remember how many games we played, but then we switched over to a JV team and we had promising looks there. I mean, I think we won 1 or 2 games last year as a JV team at the end of the season, and then this year the plan is to finish as a varsity team. So.
And I mean, there's a lot of pride that it sounds like you definitely have.
Yes, sir.
In what you're doing and what you're looking to accomplish too.
Yes, sir.
What are some goals and expectations that you have for yourself heading into the season?
I don't really know. A lot. I expect a lot out of myself. I guess the biggest thing is I don't really know.
Kind of just going into the unknown and see how it works out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good way to look at it. Trust me. And talk to me. There's also a certain amount of excitement too.
Yes, sir.
You guys are going to be putting on some pads in just a little bit. I feel like it was yesterday, but like, but there has to be some excitement about getting out there, hitting, and actually seeing what you guys have.
Yes, sir.
Because I feel like you might get a little bit surprised with what you guys might have too, right? Is that what is going on?
Yeah, so that's a big thing everybody looks forward to is putting pads on and getting knocked around a little bit. It's very nerve-wracking, especially in practices if you're hitting each other and you don't have that many kids in practice. So you hurt somebody that could really mess you up. So it's just you're playing a losing game almost. I mean, you never know what's going to happen.
And did I ask you what year you're going into?
Yes, sir. I'll be a senior this year.
And so you'll be a senior. So what does it mean to you to be not only just a part of this team, but to leave a legacy and to be maybe that guy that says, I could potentially have been the guy that starts this thing and kicks it off in the right direction? Do you feel a sense of, I guess, in terms of, is there a sense of, I already said pride, but I mean, is there a sense of pride in knowing that you can potentially be that guy?
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you really want to be that guy.
Absolutely. No, I want to look back one day and be like, I helped get this program going. Like, it's just, I take a lot of pride in it for sure.
Cool beans. And my last question, what are some things that Coach has kind of looked at you? Because you got to be an extension of him as well, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, what are some things that he's looking at you to do and I guess lead,
Lead the team, number one. There's a handful of us that lead the team, and it's a big priority. I mean, you gotta have somebody to lead the team. So I've kind of taken on that role as a team leader, and that's where we are now.
Cool beans. So you got anything else for me?
I think that's it.
Solid.